Hi guys, we're going to do a few word problems today for task 1 that are working on subtraction but are also a review of metric measurements, which is something that we talked about way back at the beginning of 4th grade and have revisited a couple of times since then. So hopefully once we get going, you feel a little bit more confident about this. The first thing that I want to suggest you do is use this highlight tool so that you can highlight important information here in the word problem. So let's jump right in. The length of Carter's driveway is 12 meters, 28 centimeters. His neighbor's driveway is 4 meters, 99 centimeters longer. How long are both of their driveways together? All right, so got a couple of things that we need to do here. I'm going to switch over to my typing tool. Okay, so I'm going to make a little box here because this is something that you guys are going to need to remember. How many centimeters there are in 1 meter. So if you think back, we said that in 1 meter, that was equal to 100 centimeters. I'm going to keep this little helpful tool just right up here in the corner so that I can see it while I'm doing my work. Now let's start with what we know. We know for Carter, he has a driveway that is 12 meters and 38 centimeters. And he has this neighbor. I'm just going to put N for neighbor. And the neighbor's driveway is longer than Carter's. It's longer by 4 meters, 99 centimeters. And 99 centimeters is almost 100. So it's almost another meter, but not quite. Oops, and then I want to label that it's longer. Okay, I'm going to stretch this out. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. All right, so here's what I know. The first thing that I need to do is I need to solve for the real length of this neighbor's driveway using the information that I have. If his driveway is going to be longer than Carter's driveway, what operation could I do with these two numbers in order to solve for the neighbor's driveway? Hopefully you're thinking addition. I know I said this was going to review subtraction. I guess I should have read the word problem first, but this particular one is going to use some addition. So I'm going to just write this out here. We're going to start with 12 meters, and then we have 38 centimeters. It's a messy M, but it'll work. Then I have 4 meters for the neighbor and 99 centimeters. I lined these up as nicely as I could just because we want to always make sure that our place values are in the right spot so that we don't make any silly mistakes in our computation. So now we're going to add. We're going to start in the ones place, just like always, and we're adding together 8 plus 9. It's going to give us 17. I'm going to put down 7, and I'm going to carry 1. Now I have 9 plus 3 plus 1. What are we going to get? 13. So I'm going to put down 3, and I'm going to carry 1. Now I have 4 plus 2 plus 1. 7. Then I have this 1 plus nothing is 1. So this is going to be 17 meters and 37 centimeters. All right, so this is the real length of the neighbor's driveway. So I'm going to use an arrow, and I'm just going to show that that's supposed to be up there. All right, so now that we know the neighbor's driveway length, now we can answer this question down here. In the problem, it asked us how long are both of their driveways all together. So now we have to take the neighbor's length and Carter's length and do what operation to find the total altogether? We have to add. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to use the typing tool for this one. I'm going to start with my larger number, which is 17 meters, 37 centimeters. And then I'm going to add to that Carter's, which is 12 meters, 38 centimeters. How nicely that lined up for us. I'm going to scoot that over here. And then I'm going to put a plus sign so I know my operation. And now I'm ready to solve. Here we have 7 plus 8. What do we get? 15, so I'm going to put down 5 and carry 1. 3 plus 3 gives us 6, plus 1 more is 7. I'm going to label this centimeters also. All right, so now we have 7 plus 2, which gives us 9, and 1 plus 1 to give us 2. All right, so I'm going to put a T here for total or together. So all together, the driveways are this length. We know when it's a word problem, there also has to be a statement. So I'm going to use my typing tool, and I'm going to say 2 driveways are 29 meters, 75 centimeters all together. Then I'm going to stretch out the box and slide it on the bottom. Now everything's nice and organized. This question is done. We can move on to slide 2. Get your highlighter tool ready. This says Bryce walked 2 kilometers or kilometers, however you want to say it, 309 meters from school to the store. I want to highlight that. That's important. So this was from school to the store. Then he walked from the store to his home. If he walked a total of 5 kilometers, how far was it from the store to his house? All right, so when we get started on this one, the first thing that comes to mind for me is this. Read, draw, write. We also in class called this RDW. And this is a strategy that is wonderful for math problem solving. First you read the problem, then you draw a model, then you write a statement. So that's what we're going to do now. We've already and highlighted some of the important information. So the next strategy is to draw a picture. It doesn't have to be anything super artistic. For this one, I'm just going to use a very simple line. It says Bryce walked from school to the store. School. And then I'm going to put ST for store. So here's where he walked. And it was 2 kilometers, 309 meters. All right. Then he went from the store to H, which is home. We don't know what this distance was. Oops, that looks like a 2. There we go. Okay, so we don't know what this distance is, but we do know that the total distance all the way is 5 kilometers. So we need to use that information to solve. Another way that you could set this up is that you could write school store is 2 kilometers, 309 meters. Store to home, we don't know. The total is 5 kilometers. And then it would look something like this. Oops. So if you're used to setting up a problem with labels this way, you can do that also. I'm just going to put a line here. There we go. Okay. So to solve for this missing question mark right here, we have to use the 2 kilometers, 309 meters, and the 5 kilometers information to solve. We can't add them, so what could we do instead? We could subtract. Doing this gets just a little bit tricky because we have to do some converting. When we think about kilometers, I'm going to type this one out. 1 kilometer is the same thing as 1,000 meters. If we look at our problem right now, the only measurement in meters that we have is what it says here for Bryce. We have 2 kilometers, 309 meters. So when we set up a subtraction problem, we're going to have to borrow. We need to have our larger number on top, which is this 5 kilometers. But really, I'm going to convert that so that I have some meters too. So the way that that's going to look, I guess we'll write it because that'll be easier to see. So if we start with this 5 kilometers, it really has 0 meters. But I could take 1,000 meters out of this kilometer, and it would drop down to 4 kilometers. And then that would give me 1,000 meters over here. So now I have enough here to set up a subtraction equation underneath. There's 2 kilometers. Now I want to line this up. 309 meters. So now that this equation is set up, we can solve. So we have 0 minus 9 we can't do, so we have to borrow. Can't borrow from this 0, can't borrow from this 0, so I have to borrow from this 1, which means it becomes a 0. This would become a 10, then I would borrow from it, it becomes 9. Then this 0 becomes a 10, then I borrow from it, it becomes a 9. So that this 0 here can become 10. To do 10 minus 9, which is 1. 9 minus 0, which is 9. 9 minus 3 to give us 6. And that's 0 minus 0. So far, what we know is that we have, there we go, 691 meters. Now we can go over here and do 4 minus 2, which gives us 2. Gotta be very creative in writing this so that those markers don't pop up. So we have 2 kilometers, 691 meters. Now we can write a statement. It from store to home is 2 kilometers, 691 meters. Our statement. Now we're ready to move on to slide 3. For this one, I'm going to highlight it for you guys. You're going to solve it on your own. So let's get started. It says Benny has a rope that's 5 meters, 32 centimeters long, and he's cutting it into 2 pieces. One piece is 249 centimeters long. How many centimeters long is the other piece of rope? All right. So you're going to want to remember that 1 meter equal to 100 centimeters. And you're going to want to set it up so that you can see, we'll call it P1 for piece 1 is 249 centimeters. P2 We don't know yet, but we know that the total is 5 meters, 32 centimeters. You're going to use this information in the box to solve on your own using some of the strategies that we've used on the other 2 slides. So give this a try on your own, and good luck.